Welcome everyone to another video, and today we're looking at what if civilization started over to human scenario, Age of Kingdoms. Now thank you guys for the major support on all of the videos that I have posted. This is episode 20 and we're already in like 20 episodes. And most others would take this a bit faster at this point, but I'm gonna keep it at this pace that I'm at. And I have added a few things, new stuff. But most impactfully, I have added a trade route system. So basically, also I updated the ideologies, so we can see what ideologies there are and what I can put for every single nation. But going to trade routes, we can see the trade routes are quite expansive. Now we can see that in the middle of all of this trade, we have two nations. We have this guy being Mesoa, and the second being none other than Menesia, because as you can see, they kind of hold all of this, and they kind of just made a huge way over here, and that's how they do this stuff. Now here's the thing. As you can see, there's a lot of trade going through Carthage, but that's because they just did so, because before they lost all of their, all of their damn, how do I say this? They lost all of their trade routes. All their trade went down the drain, and even though this guy doesn't trade, they still get supplies or help from other people or other nations. While as we can see, they kind of lost this thing. If we go to trade routes, they lost this trade route, this. Going over here, they lost every single trade route but the one, which was this one over here. And then they lost another two, which were these ones, and then that's it. They only have one trade route left. And even their islands couldn't hold up to all of that. And as we can see, the trade routes do actually influence a lot. As if we go into the economic situations of this nation, we can see a lot has happened, and it's getting worse. But at least it's getting a bit better in some areas. But as we will see, over here down south, due to the new economic expansions, we see this area recovers a bit and starts to see an upgrade in its growth of economic growth. Over here in Carthage's capital of Carthage, we see another growth, and down here we also see a bit of more growth, although this is less subtle. But for everywhere else that's near these areas, they also see some of the benefits, but that's because they're either near an area or not near an area that has those. But if we look over here, shit has gone down the drain. Even though their best efforts to save this region, they see it fall into deeper and deeper economic failure, and it's just a cesspool of the country's economic failure. And as we can see over here, there's also a saving in that, and even over here we see that this nation, after its after a pre-war build-up and after the rebellion that they did, has recovered quite nicely. Over here we also see that this nation manages to help this guy down south reach this area a bit better, and this area starts to see a lot of more economic growth. Over here we also see that the Central Malaga sees economic growth, and same with this thing. This stays the same mostly, but if we go over here, we see that in Sardinia, Cisalia, we see that Cisalia will see that its neighbor nation gains a bit of better economic strength over here and actually starts to survive, while we see that somehow Malta becomes very wealthy, and that's through them actually establishing a very, very bad habit, and that's slavery. They start to import Venetian slaves to build up their economy, build up their ports, and this brings them up to better economic strength than entire Carthage. And due to this, Carthage starts to pull money from this area, which doesn't really hurt the economy over here, but brings it down to this level. And they start to push it into this region to save it from economic collapse, which works. Same with this region, although it's a bit less so. And they do manage to save it from economic collapse. Also, we see over here I've added two more areas. I think I added some other stuff somewhere. Oh yeah, over here. As we can see, the middle of Mesopotamia is exploding in trade, and as we can see, it has reached a lot of areas. And if we put on smaller cities, we can see many of the smaller cities do contribute to a lot. As if we turn off the economic layer, if I can find it. I have so many layers, it's almost hard to even see them. If we look at this economic layer, we can see over here this, and this city help produce around 10% of the entire economic strength of Mesoa, and due to this economic strength, Mesoa begins to see an economic and population boom, seeing as it starts to also see a lot of people being born and surviving to adult age. Out of every 10 children, around 9 survive to adulthood, and 1 dies during childhood, either through falling or not. Safety measures are put in place, and they're very strong. Also, I've updated the rankings, and as we can see, Carthage has been bumped down to 29th place, with even Libya being stronger than them by only a few hundred troops, a few hundred other things. And speaking of strength, we can see that the pre-war navy of, well, our good old friend Carthagia has dropped significantly because they can't very much hold it. We can also see that Borbora has also saved them, but as we can see, Carthagia is much weaker, but they are starting to bring themselves back. Before they were 31st, but now then 29th, they jumped up 2 whole places, and they're about to also reach something else, and that is naval push down, because they don't really want to have too much navy, even though it's kind of weird saying so. They will bring down their navy from around, I'll say, I'm gonna say around 72 to 120 units. 121 is what they could make. They bring it down to 59 ships, a significant decrease in their ship count. I was doing so much, talking so much, I was yapping a lot. But we see that the 3 ships from here went into this. This guy kind of brought down its navy. This guy lost his navy, which was split between these 2 guys. This guy kind of took the navy from here, and I think somewhere else, and got 66 ships, but they gave 6 away to Napalea, who is starting to unite itself with these guys, possibly creating the Kingdom of 2 Naples. But if we go over here, we can see that Sparta is heavily behind in the Athena, who has just managed to bring itself up to around 758 and around 17 more ships that it can support. With the addition of these 17 ships, we can see that they will become quite not non-negotiable, but they will be hard to talk to. And with this hard to talk to thing being going on, we see that they will actually take those 17 ships and will use those to upgrade their navy from 58 to around 5 over here, which means 2 down here. That's to 75 ships. And we see due to this large increase in ships and how many they actually can support, also going up, it will also inspire another nation to take around a bit of upgrading, and we see that both Cyprus and Rhodes will do something over here. You dude are still trying to make this. It's gonna take you some time. But as we can see, Rhodes will, with Cyprus, agree to a deal where Cyprus is going to remain with 6 ships, being still able to make and support another 5, while this guy also manages to hold up to 6 ships, and with this guy's sudden increase in naval power, it will be able to start to kind of snag some lands. Now it sees its ally over here, it sees its friends over here, and it's just asked Anatolia if they can buy back the island of Rhodes. With this whole thing going on, we see that Anatolia, who has majorly industrialized its own, well, not industrialized, but well, started to make a lot of workshops, started to make a lot of smithies for the wartime purposes, because they are starting to justify war on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 nations. They don't want to invade Thracia, but they want to kind of take over this area. And they have made it clear in a letter, so Thracia knows their plans, but they know that they just want this guy to be theirs. And same with these two, who want it very much, but this guy isn't letting up. And we also can see that with the introduction of well, cities and them being a lot of work to kind of keep, we see some cities start to actually, well, one of the smaller city types starts to actually show itself a bit more in Europe. And that's in the form of, well, 2 more nations make 2 more cities. Now we see Thessala makes this, and Venetia starts to also make itself a bit larger. But as we can see, that with these two making 2 cities for themselves, a lot of nations want more cities, and with 2 dominant nations that border each other, doing what Thrace has and what these guys have, the boom of cities have started. And we can see that the first large city of a different country, except for those 2, has started to become very noticeable, and it's Nylea. Well, not Nylea, that's due east of them, but we see that it's Libya, who has majorly made itself, well, majorly increased the population by using slaves and then freeing them. And those guys are very, very grateful, and then just stay. Over here we see that Messoa starts to support these guys in making more cities, and Messoa itself starts to look at the prospect of making new cities. And one place comes very much to mind, and they start to help these guys make the first Sinayan city, Herviak. Yeah, it's called Herviak. Partly because it's so important of a place, because these 4 guys kind of claim this area, but these 3 don't have much of the balls, because this guy is too large for them, but this guy kind of has the balls and claims them as well as these guys. And we'll see some stuff happen over here, so don't worry. We also see over here Qatarik makes another city. Now why does it make one? It just can. It can. But we see that Oman is not very happy about that and starts to make its own cities, and it manages to make 2, one over here and one over here. And we see, due to this, the news of large cities being made starts to reach different people, and it starts to also reach Asia, where we see once it reaches the Li Jingxi, it has become quite important for them to make it sure that they are strong, that being the Li Jingxi, and they start to declare themselves the first holders of an Asian city. Even though they don't really have a city to begin with, their capital is much more than qualified for a city. In fact, it's almost a 5-pixel city, but it doesn't yet have the capability of so. Ailong, not to be outdone, has the 2nd largest city in this entire area, and so it decides to take this over. and well, not they take this over, but declare their own capital a second city. And over here, that we see that the Li Ying dynasty kind of somehow manages to build enough people, enough homes for people, and makes this. But in this kind of area, we see something very important happening. In fact, it's so important, I cannot turn off the political layer. As we can see, the Mari peoples have long since looked a lot better since they actually have. As we can see, the Muscovites have invaded their territories. And this has angered around 100k people, 100,000 people. And not only has it angered them, it has angered them so much that they want to make their own nation. And as we can see, it quickly becomes very apparent that they want revenge. So what they will do is start a nation. First it starts small, but then it starts to grow with many hundreds and more than just thousands start to flock to this city, well, this people, and starts to also start to kind of build their own homes and own life there. And with the building of new houses, new furniture, all of that, well, not furniture, but new living spaces for these people, the first great chiefdom of the Mari has been declared. And as we can see, they are quite large, but with that they have also decided to push out towards the eastern lands, where we see the not so distant eastern and Mari have also joined their cause. With these two people joining up to make the great Mari horde, well, the great horde of the Maris, we see that they will begin to kind of take over as much land as possible, eventually making themselves quite large towards this area, and also matching these guys in both strength, size, and population, although they're going to soon outnumber them. Because in the Mari areas, both of the Mari areas, we see that these two areas account alone for like 2 million people, and the world population is around. Also, I'm gonna say these three make up like most of the world's population currently, as well as this guy. But as we can see, they start to reach very important areas, and once they do, they reach into areas that they have not ever been, that being the areas of the Siberians. And once the tight-knit Siberian people are invaded, they begin a large deficit, well, not deficit, but migration out of the lands, trying to get as far away from the Maris, who suddenly see that these areas start to leave them alone, and the people of around a lot has kind of just lost 1/2 of the people who were kind of over here, smack dab in over here. And as we can see, it does not help when the Maris decide to pursue them to get an answer. And once scouts confirm that the Maris have started to push towards their areas, it is called for a large exodus of their own lands. And we quickly see that once they start to leave their lands, they start what is called the Great Journey of the Siberians. As we can see, after a long time of not seeing any areas being discovered, except for some areas over here, we see that the Siberians have started to move, and they will move until they cannot see anything behind them, and they will meet up with this river, well, not river, but this lake. And once they do, they start to consolidate into many different tribes, and these tribes are going to be called by the future world the first tribes of the Siberians. With the Siberians moving so far, we see that most of them will start a large inhabitation of these areas, and with all of their areas being scattered, they will see a large population boost once they start to see a large amount of explorations go so well, in fact, that once the people make sure that there aren't anyone behind them, where the Maris are. Also, the Maris kind of sent people out here to find where these guys were. They found old camps, old settlements, and that were all abandoned. And they just assumed that these guys kind of got wiped out by something or someone. They just don't really care. But the fact that these people were, in their mind, wiped out was kind of horrifying to find out. So the Maris were very much hoping to prevent them. Although once the Siberians reach these regions, reaching their homelands, they will not push any further, and they will start to move down south, where we see they will only take a lot of regions down south, due to, well, just trying to survive in some regions and not trying to kind of offend the local people, well, not local people, but local fauna. And once they all start to consolidate into one large people, we see many different large amounts of people start to form into different tribes. And as we can see, the first tribe, first clan tribe is called. It will emerge over here, and once it does, it will begin what is called the Great Unification. And once the unification begins, we see that it immediately is met by rivals, as this clan quickly starts to arrive in, climb the power ranks across the world. We see that rival peoples will start to try and rival their own people over here, and we see 3 of these clans will start to fight, with the smallest of them being this one, who will be manipulated by both sides to attack either one by raids or not. And we quickly see that down south to them, due south, so please excuse my wording, we see another clan emergence. And once another clan is confirmed, these guys quickly move out towards these areas, trying to expand as far as possible and kind of cut off anyone possible. But we see that these guys also were dealing with something that they didn't really much like, and that was another rival clan. And as we can see, these clans are very different in how they react to each other. And some of these clans even develop others in many different regions, or just straight up are menaces to each other. But as we can see, many clans start to form, and over time, these clans quickly start to fight for dominance in the region. Once a regional power has been established on a regional capital, it will be the staging point for many attacks on their enemies. And we quickly see that with each of these people, each of these clans forming and then starting to fight immediately with each other, many of them don't have the opportunities to even consolidate their areas quite well and expand. But we quickly see that in one very weird in fact, area, no clan rises, but that's because there's one man who is leading his own small clan. He calls it the clan of the red blood horse, the clan to unite all of the Siberian clans. We quickly see that this person who's leading this quickly starts to rise the ranks over here in his own homeland, and quickly sets out to do some stuff, as the homelands have been invaded by a foreign clan, and they had lost through a lot of effort Even though they had won a few of the battles, they had still lost. And as we can see, they built another clan down south, where we see that the same guy who was over here quickly pounces on the lands over here before they can be fully consolidated. And the others kind of start to hate this guy for it. But not to be outdone, another part of this clan kind of breaks off, and that's down south, to kind of start and make its own clan, which is not thought of highly, but it's accepted as okay. Until it's this guy kind of sends a messenger through this guy to reach over here, and these guys, when going over here, met this messenger who kind of was captured. And once the message was read, these two kind of were in big trouble because this guy was very mad. The message read, "Please help us attack the northern guy to the north, and we'll split the lands between us and help you defeat your enemies to the east." Which was the bad blunder to kind of have for them to lose their messenger in such a way. But let's just say the messenger did not see another day in the sunlight rise because he was killed, which is normal. But as we can see, as this man starts his journey, he quickly gets news of a large clan down to the due east, and that's when the message of a large clan due east kind of arrives to him very early in the morning. So he's kind of weirded out because he's on a diplomatic mission to kind of secure allies from other clans. And as we can quickly see, those allies were these two down here, who kind of hate each other. This red and this purple guy. The man behind the slaughter. Yeah, anyone who knows that, I'm old. I'm very old. I'm 17 in fact, so I'm older than most of you maybe who are watching this video, or not. Depends on who's watching. But as we can see, messengers arrive here and start to arrive into this purple guy. But we see, purple clan. But we see right on the border. When the sun rays hits, a message hits them that one new area over here has been discovered to hold a clan, and quickly we see that this clan kinda has another clan down south to it that is very annoying, so they kinda invade it and take it. But when they did so, they kinda just split it up a lot. So these guys got this area. These guys got this area, and that was kind of agreed upon, and the rest was kind of taken by this guy. And as we can see, this guy just moved up north, and I'm kind of stalling a lot. Stalling a lot, but this is for a good reason, because once this guy from down south reaches this area, he marries the first woman he sees, and that woman is the clan daughter, or the heiress of the southern territories. And once he does, he quickly makes a political alliance with this large guy, only for a few years later for a large tragedy to befall him. His beloved has died of illness. She left before her death behind a child named Alan. Alan is very much a timid kid. He is not very, healthy, but he is nursed into perfection and then taught the sword by his father, the ways of the sword, that is. And we quickly see that after all that, his son will take up the clan leader's position, and quickly, with this guy's help, manages to unite both of these people under one looter. That took a bit of time, but eventually he will start to unite all of the clans through his own merit and strength. And we quickly see that with the help of their allies up north, who have just managed to come in and help at the last moment before the guys over here start to attack, we see that both of these guys start to quickly take over all of the lands. And over here we also see that they kinda may have annexed a lot of this area because they kinda wanted it. But we quickly see that after a lot of war is done down south, everyone else over here who has been fighting for a long time has never seen a clan defeat another clan. Has seen, that was the clan down here, but we quickly see that once another clan down south falls and the news of it reaches everyone else, everyone is scared. Well, not scared, but everyone is intrigued who is leading this charge into battle. And we quickly see while the forces are over here, this guy tries to strike up a deal with the large clan up here, and these guys are saying, yo, if we attack them now, we can gain so much land, and we'll just give you like all of this over here, and we'll just take a little. And if you help us, we will give you so much land. It's just a free gain. But these guys who are very friendly towards their southern friends down, who are, well, still mourning the loss of their, well, clans, well, princess basically, or queen, the claness. I don't know what clan leaders are called. Leaders who are female are called. I'm just gonna say clan leader. Leader's wife. After the loss of the clan leader's wife, we see that these two are very friendly to each other, because the clan leader's wife was from this area. And currently the son of the clan leader is to take control of the southern regions, and he does so without question. And we see that with the takeover of these lands, he will go on a multi-campaign in warfare. First, he will descend on this nation's south, this clan's southern regions, trying to take it over. But once he starts to stall, he quickly moves up to the next one. And once he starts to stall there, that being once he snakes over here, he quickly, and I mean quickly, just sends the rest of his troops in, and he quickly sees a large amount of success. And once these regions are fully taken and the rest of these two clans are invaded and taken over, the great southern clan has been united. With the clans seeing all of this, the northern three clans unite under this red one. But unfortunately, before this one could join, it is invaded and taken over. While these guys stubbornly refuse any attempts to join the large nation over here, any large nations, seeing themselves as superior in strength. This guy doesn't get invaded yet. But we see while these guys do manage to hold out for a bit, once they don't manage to hold out, it's already a death season for them. Also, these guys were long since subjugated by these guys, because these guys the limes were so annoying. But we see, without any attempt at hiding it, this guy will start a smart attack towards the homelands, and once they reach the grave of the late clan leader's wife, which is like all the way over here, which they kind of got news about and then diverted their efforts from over here to here. When they arrive, they quickly take the surrounding regions over, and then they spill blood on the grave, mocking it, and then they dig it up and they put the corpse which has been well, staying there for a while on a stake, and they just paraded through the lands they captured. And once the news of it hit these two guys, both would become so angry about this that both sides would send these two would send in every single troop they had, and those troops that didn't get the fight would quickly start to send themselves into the fight, regardless of who said to fight or not. We quickly see that after the bloodshed, we see a lot of these regions kind of going to this guy, who kind of took over all of these areas due to them kind of just needing to take this over. They just kind of needed to take this over. Yes, very good. But once these two kind of start to help each other, we see that the last clan, the clan of the Northern and Siberis, or the clan of the Akri, quickly decides that they want to make an alliance with this guy. And they also, once they have confirmed that, and once efforts to join these three into one by this guy's clan leader has started, it will become very apparent that in a very disrespectful duel between two of the forces over here, enemy forces will start to invade into this guy, and once it does is made sure, forces over here start to move in violently on all sides, and we quickly see that this side of this river gets quickly taken over, well, this lake. And once the upper regions are reached, this area has to be abandoned, and once it is, the areas down south are quickly taken over. Although once these guys start to help these guys, they quickly chose these guys, because the leader right now is a ungrateful brat who kinda just sees himself wants to take over all of this, and then push over here, take out the Maoris, and then take out the Ruskovites, then take over all of Europe, and he just sees himself as this great leader. But once that is done, and once all of that goes kinda down the drain, with this guy kinda starting to win, he is like, yo, how about I just kinda betray this guy, then make this guy my vassal? That's not gonna go bad at all. And once the news of this hits the troops who fought alongside this guy, most of them just give up helping this guy, and they just start to march towards whatever last reason to fight to have is, and that is to kind of help their home allies, the allies of their home. And to be honest, nobody was expecting for when this guy's betrayal in the last battle that would have won them the entire area of here, to betray this guy. But once they did and the news reached over here, the armies who defended these areas gave up their fight against these guys immediately and joined the ranks. And once hearing the betrayal in the back areas of this clan, rebellious groups of soldiers quickly started to form. And we quickly see that after all of these forces are kinda unified, it takes little more than this guy's brother, well, the son of the other guy who kinda lost his mother before to illness, and all of that. That guy, his son, takes over all of this, and he himself goes after all of the rest of this guy. And once both the father and son duo start to fall in on these slime areas that were taken over. Ironically, the last areas that would be taken would be the limes, who were kind of unexpecting this. We quickly see that in a hopping strategy and a last-ditch effort, the ambush tactics and guerrilla warfare tactics of the rest of the Saiyan Siberis would hurt these guys, but in a direct battle over in this area, we see that these guys will come out on top and fight until they find a very weird thing over here, and they quickly build something upon this area. They built the Shrine of the Great One, the Shrine of the Great Unifier, Armash. And we see that Armash is sounds very Arabian, but it's in this word it's very much seen as a original name that is given to these people only. And once it is made sure that this guy has fully unified all of these clans, both the culture and religion layers will have their first true religions. As we can see on the religion layer, something has very much gone right, and that is that in the best of the best ways, this guy has finally managed to do what is needed. If we look at the culture map, the Maoris have their own culture, which I haven't kind of updated, but as we can see, these guys have built such a large culture around winning that anything else would kind of just hit them in the wrong, rob them in the wrong way. And we quickly see, through this, they will begin to worship the Great Unifier, the Great Unifier's God and Goddess, who will also not be named because they murdered the murderer who was dead and is still dead, Mrs. Clan's leader family name. We see that this murder is named after the murder up here, and we quickly see once all of that was done and all of those things happened, forces over here of unknown people start to go over here and find out a lot of things over here, and also met up with these guys. We see that once a direct line of communication has been input into play, these guys, who now act as our Mongols, will start to send out raids to hit anyone they can. But the Meng Ying, they still exist. Even though the son's brother is over here, the still living great cousin, who does not want to give up the Meng Yings, will sail over to Ailong, where he will be sent out into these areas to just be exiled. And we see that the 100 or so people he takes with him will aid him in his troubles, and once he arrives over here, he finds out about I don't know what this area's name was, but I'm gonna talk about that later. I'm out of time for now. Thank you guys for watching this video. It has been a great pleasure making these videos for you. Grab that stone that is the like button, throw it against the tree that is the subscribe button, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.